How do you handle rejection as a writer, specifically if you're in the querying stage, submitting things to publishers and agents, submitting your book, your life's work sometimes, or your baby, as it were, and obviously there are times people say no, usually more times than they say yes. How do you handle that as a writer? How do you handle the, you know, discouragement and everything that comes with that? It's the same with the Friday video for you. I want to talk about rejection today. I am pre-recording this one in advance. I think I mentioned it last week. It's going to be a busy month for me, a busy few weeks. Today, or rather the day that airs, the Friday, it'll be my son's birthday, and we're celebrating with family. Got my family over, visiting from out of town, so that's great. The next 2 weeks, I will be out of the country on a work trip, and I'm sure I'll tell you more about that most likely after I return. I mean, there are some writing takeaways that I hope to take from that because I'm being sent there as a writer. But I'm hoping to record some videos in advance and post them on Fridays, but I won't be live with you for a while, probably until sometime in September. So yeah, anyway, Friday video on a Wednesday for me. I'm recording this on a Wednesday, but it'll come out on a Friday. So anyway, yeah, rejection. It's no fun. Nobody likes it, and I've been hearing a lot of people talking about it. Of course, if you're following me on social media, I'm trying to post my my parts of my author journey, and I did that well in part because I have a friend, actually Kathy McCrum, who has been on here for interviews before, and she's published now with Enclave, and has 2 books out, and the third one in the trilogy coming out next year, I believe. And she's a friend from my writing group, and basically, like, at one point she posted a video of herself, like, getting the response letter from the publisher and opening it, and she was I think she didn't know beforehand for sure. Maybe she suspected, but she didn't know for sure what it was going to be. Like, it seemed like when she posted it, she was surprised, or she was hopeful, but she was surprised that she got it, and that she got a publishing deal or a publishing contract, and so she kind of filmed herself so at least all of her Facebook friends and stuff could watch it in real time. And I was like, I want to do that when I get my big break eventually, except I don't really know when it's going to come, or which one it's going to be. It's going to be the one per se. So right now, when I'm submitting to publishers, and when I'm receive a response from them, publishers or agents, I've been trying to film those in the form of short videos. You can find those on my TikTok or my Instagram, or actually pretty much any other all my social media, pretty much, because YouTube Shorts, Facebook, LinkedIn, which I'm forgetting, Twitter, or sorry, X now. Yeah, but should be on there if you follow me on social media anywhere. At least once a week, I'm trying to submit one, and now that I've submitted several, I'm getting responses semi-frequently too. So, and yeah, most of them have said no so far. A few haven't, and I'll talk about that later. I mentioned a couple of those last week when I talked about don't settle for less, but I'll tell you about some of those too. But yeah, obviously most of them are rejections when you get them back. So I started filming myself because I'm hoping for a better response one day, and it hasn't happened yet. And I know, and I mean, we've all heard this. Everyone says every great writer has to go through rejection. It's part of the process. Every great writer has been rejected, 10 times or more, or whatever, just however many times before they hit their big break. Success does not happen overnight. We know this. We've heard this before. If you've been in the writing game for any amount of time, I'm sure you've heard that. Still not fun. It's okay. I think sometimes we try to say that and then put like a positive spin on rejection, and like it's just it's coming, and everything like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm all for positivity. I think it's okay to admit that rejection isn't fun. It's not what you wanted, and I mean, hopefully it's not like soul-crushingly terrible to the point of like ultimate defeat or anything. But yeah, we go through it. We get our hopes up. We feel optimistic when we submit things, and we take the risk of putting ourselves out there, and then we get a response that says, "Sorry, we can't use that this time," and it's not fun. It's not what we wanted. It's not what we were looking for. I'm not saying wallow in despair or anything like that, or like dwell overly much on the negative. I'm just saying, that you don't have to sugarcoat it. You don't have to put a positive spin on it. It's okay to be disappointed or mildly sad or whatever you might feel when you get a rejection. So that's okay. A lot of you have left encouraging comments for me on my videos when I've posted them and most of them have been rejections. I say most. I did get one contract offer that wasn't, but I realized it wasn't a good fit. I talked about that in the video from last week. You can find it if you search for the last video about don't settle for less. And I also got one who said like they actually requested more information from me. They were the first thing was an initial query, and then they said send us more chapters, and we'll respond to you in 2 months. So that was a few weeks ago, and obviously haven't heard back from them yet. So that's like a tentative yes or a possible yes. More to be decided in 2 months. So anyway, that's cool. But other than that, I've gotten several rejections from publishers and now agents. And I've only been doing this since May, I think. Yeah, May, and now it's August. I saw an article someone sent me a while back, and I tried to find it just now to give credit to the author, and I couldn't find it again, so I'm sorry, but maybe you can Google it. But it said, like, aim for 100 rejections in a year, or someone said they started aiming for 100 rejections in a year. And the purpose of that, of course, is like... you're at least putting yourself out there. In order to get 100 rejections in the year, you have to submit to, several places, and one or two of them might come back to you and say, hey, we like it, and the rest probably won't. But that encourages you to put yourself out there. So I think that's if you want to make that your goal, if that helps you to be motivated, then great, sure. Go for it. So I'm not at 100 yet. I've been doing this since May. I think I was counting for a while. I think I've stopped counting. But I'm probably at five or 10 rejections now since May, maybe 10. So hey, that's a good track record. And like I said, out of those 10 or whatever, I've gotten 2-ish that were not outright rejections and are possibly interested. So we will see what happens with that. And the more you submit, the greater those chances become. Yes, lots of rejections, but there'll be one or a few in there that are not, and that will give you what you want, hopefully. So there you go. Keep submitting and keep trying. Beyond just the positive note of like keep trying and keep going. I mean, again, nothing wrong with that, but I wanted to do more, be a little more substantial than that. I'm comparing it to dating, which is a little bit funny, but just hear me out for a minute. So you guys know I'm married, have a kid, happily married. We just celebrated 5 years of marriage. I didn't get dating and marriage right on the first try either. When I was single and in college and stuff, I used to blog about my dating misadventures, and I probably asked out. So let me think. My first real girlfriend was 2009. I was a sophomore in college. My wife and I started dating in 2016. So between that period of college and then grad school and even my first year of teaching for me, I asked out probably a dozen or more different girls at different times. And, most of them said no, or actually some of them said yes and then kind of waffled and changed their minds because people don't know how to say no, but that's a different topic. But what I'm saying is I didn't get it right in my relationship the first time either. I had to go through a dozen or more rejections, and that took, 7 years or whatever, for me to, 1, find the right person for me, 2, be in the right place, mentally, emotionally, whatever, that I could be ready for her and she could be ready for me or whatever. But anyway, point is, it is hard. I mean, it's not fun. I also said of one of my rejections when I had the agent meeting, and she said no, but she still wanted to help me and give me some pointers and stuff. I was like, yeah, it's nice that she wants to do that, but it's kind of like when you ask someone out and they say no, but we can still be friends. I mean, it's not what you wanted. It's hard. It's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to feel whatever you feel about that. As long as it doesn't drive you to like ultimate despair or whatever. But it's part of the process, and you gotta do it. In marriage and everything, and in dating, I didn't get it right the first time either. It took me many tries of putting myself out there. It took me years. But here I am, happily married with a wonderful little kid, and wouldn't trade it for anything. And I gotta believe, in the writing publishing world, it's the same kind of thing. Very few people get it right the first time. Some do, and if that's you, great for you. Congratulations. A lot of us don't get it right the first time, or don't find the one that very first time. But keep putting yourself out there. Keep looking for something. Your chances improve, and I've got to believe it'll happen. Anyway, that's all I'm saying for today. I went over my 10-minute time slot, so I'll try to wrap it up. But thanks for listening. I hope that was encouraging to somebody. You probably won't get it right the first time. If you're struggling with rejection, if you're in that boat, persevere. Remember that it doesn't. Everyone has to go through rejection. It takes everyone, many times, and the right one for you is out there somewhere too, I hope, and for me too. Okay, thank you for listening and watching. Have a great day. Bye.